Hello, hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's Traders Club. My name is Gerald. So this is a weekly ChartNexus video for you guys, right? Now, okay, so the market has been continuing to be bullish, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'll take a look at STI, right? And we will discuss those stocks that we had discussed last week, last week's Traders Club. And then we look at the trading opportunities that present themselves today. Yeah. So today is the 7th of April. It's a Tuesday evening. For those in Singapore, yeah, this is the first day of our so-called lockdown. Yeah, but basically it's just a what I call a circuit breaker. All right. Okay. Now let's look at STI very quickly. Okay. So STI today in the morning, if you have been following our Facebook post, right? We are talking about the resistance, right? So we know that the resistance zone between the 20 and 50 MA, it has been breached, right? So in the morning when the market opened, there was a small gap up and the 20 MA resistance was breached and the price starts to trade higher. So we were talking about the next level of immediate resistance, which is this little point here, right? Which is about 2561, 2560. Yeah, so as the day progresses, it reaches that 2561 and it penetrated a little bit. Yeah, so I would say the rally stops, right, when it's around 2561. So basically the market goes at around 2570. Yeah, so it's about 10 points up past that past that minor resistance. Okay, so regardless, we know it's bullish, but I again has been said many times, please be cautious because we are in a resistance zone. All right, so this is what we call a resistance zone. So sellers, they are not selling it, but they are just waiting for a better price around here. Okay, so just take note. But of course, in the short term, I mean, in this couple of days, the bullishness may still be there. Okay, just that if you want to take a buy trade, be very conscious of the upside, right? The limited upside. Later, I'm going to share a little bit some stocks that you could look to long. But at the same time, I'll also be highlighting where you could be taking profit quickly if the market were to reverse and resume the downtrend again. All right. So this is STI, so fairly bullish and is testing this horizontal resistance, but we are now right into the resistance zone between the moving averages. Okay, now if you remember last week, we talked about some stocks. So I remember, no, there's only one stock that I was focusing a lot on if you want to buy, that was SGX. Yeah, so if you refer back to last week's video, we were talking about SGX. All right, and this morning we were talking about SGX when the market opened, just a reminder. Right, so what were we talking about? Right, so it's basically this level $9.39 or $9.40 thereabout. Right, so in the past couple of weeks and days, right, we are talking about this level not able to breach 939. Yeah, so the market has been trying, but it's unable to trade past that 939, 940 level. Okay, so watch for it. If it breaks, then it's a good opportunity to long. Right, so it took a while, but today, this morning, when the market opened, it starts to trade towards 939. And if you look at our Facebook posting, we were talking about it has just happened. Yeah, so if anybody who wanted to take a trade to long on the breakout, today's the day. For those who are in, then you're into this trade, a breakout trade. All right, and if you're in already, let me just share the next potential resistance on the upside. Okay, so there is not much upside in these recent years. So that's the good news for those who are bullish. As far as SGX is concerned, there is nothing here in recent years to resist. All right, so there's something very bullish about this stock. All right, and it's going to continue to climb because there's no upside resistance over here. Okay, in the recent years. Okay, but if you really want to find one, then I think you got to go back way to the previous, the one just before the financial crisis, right over here in 2007. Right, so if I to zoom in, we are quite near, right? So the immediate resistance, the historical high, let me point to the historical high for SGX, is around 1174. And if I were to give it a zone, then last time it challenge was of course here, and then of course at around 1072. So if you just ask me, I would say that the resistance, right, the immediate horizontal resistance will be between $10.72 and $11.74. So if I have to bring back to where we are now, all right, let me just bring back to where we are now. So this is the breakout today, all right, and if I have to pull it back, all right, this is where the potential resistance may be based on the 2007 historical high period, zone. Okay, so there is quite a potential unlimited upside over here. Not say unlimited, but a wide enough upside. Okay, now, but of course, not everybody likes to take breakout, especially in this very uncertain market like now. So in my Facebook comment, we're also talking about, you know, if you do not want to take any of such breakout trade, well, you could wait for the pullback. Okay, by pullback, I meant, okay, now it has broken out. So those who do not like to take a trade on breakout, you wait for the price to pull back, which means the price could go up, the price will come down, the price will go up, the price could pull back down again to the support level, yeah, and before it starts to bounce again. So you potentially could wait for the previous breakout price, right? Okay, but if you, as I always say, if you wait for pullback, yeah, sometimes the pullback don't come and the price just rally without you. Okay, all right, now, so this is one potential pullback. Another potential pullback may not be to this horizontal $9.40 resistance broken turn support. All right, the other one potentially could be the support could be at a higher place. Yeah, so let me just erase this. Okay, the support could come in the form of your moving averages. So as the 20 days moving average starts to go higher, right, and then the 50 days moving average starts to come up, we may see, right, the type of support, right, and in the form of a moving average support. So the price may pull back here and visit the 20 and 50 MA support before the price rebound. Yeah, so these are the what we call the pullback trades. So there are two ways you could be looking for a pullback. But for those who say, yeah, I'm already in this breakout trade, then you're in. Because those who like to take breakout trades, basically they feel that prices usually don't pull back for them to re-enter, right? For them to take the trade. Okay, so a case in point, back then in 2019, right, early last year, right? So you can see that this is what I'm looking for when we say pullback. So you can see the price was resisted around 720, right? Thereabout. It couldn't go past, it couldn't go past, it couldn't go past. But you see, once the trade, right, breaks out of that resistance, so for those who like to take breakout trade, you'll be in on the breakout. Those, like I said, if you want to wait for a pullback, yeah, so this is where you can see the pullback coming back down. So you could pull back to the original breakout price of 720 or anywhere in between the 20 and 50 MA support. Yeah, so you could wait for this pullback, then you look for a trading signal before you take the trade on the bounce again. All right, so this is what I meant by pullback. Yeah, so either you trade on the breakout or you wait for the subsequent pullback. Okay, so this is something that is still early days. For those who want to wait for pullback, it's still early days. The breakout must be successful. So today is a good breakout day. It seems to be holding up. So let it continue and then see if there's any pullback for you to enter. Okay, so yeah, I think I said a lot on SGX. So let me just do a quick recap. It has broken out from this $9.39, the horizontal resistance. It break out into multi-year high. Okay, so what we need is for those who take the breakout trade based on the trade discussion last week, you could be in already, right? For those who miss it or those who don't like breakout, please wait for the pullback. Pullback either to test the 939 support resistance, broken resistance turn support, or to see if the moving averages come back up to test it as a support. Cool. All right. So that is SGX. That's the stock that yeah, I have been following for a while because it is one of the more bullish stock in times like now. Right. Okay. So that's SGX. Now, I did mention a few stocks to short as well. Yeah. So again, if you refer to the previous video, every time we talk about a trading signal, there's one very key aspect of it that's called markets confirmation. So which means even though there is a signal to short, yeah, you don't just take the trade the next day immediately. Yeah, you wait for the market to show that they are also shorting or selling the particular stock. Yeah, so that's what we call a markets confirmation. Yeah, so you can see these few stocks that we discussed last week, like StarHub, Sheng, right? Right. So okay, let me just go through them first. What's the characteristics? The characteristics is that firstly, it's a downtrend. Okay, the 20 MA is below the 50 MA, so that's definitely a downtrend. So we're looking to short. So the time that you start to look to short is when it come and challenge the resistance. So you can see over here, these are the days that is challenging the resistance. All right. So remember, the resistance is between the 20 and 50 MA. All right. So you can wait for a signal. So you could be using an MACD signal, a red after a series of green, or you could use stochastic. But like I said, whichever day you're looking at, the key is it must trade lower, right? For confirmation. Let me just get a line. Right. So it must trade lower. It must trade lower before we can execute the trade. So you can see for the consecutive few days, the price on the next day didn't go lower. The price didn't go lower. Yeah. So as a result, there is no shorting. That means the market is not selling this stock for us to do the short. Yeah. So what happens for StarHub now? It has cleared the resistance. All right. It has cleared this resistance zone. So it's not a stock so much to look at to short, but doesn't mean you start buying here. All right. So it's not a good place to buy as well. There's no good trading signal. All right. But I just want to highlight that yes, there was signal to short this downtrending stock, but the market didn't confirm. Right. So we didn't see the type of action that we need for us to take the shorting trade. So the market didn't give us a confirmation. Okay. So no go on StarHub. So you will not have this unnecessary loss. Okay, Sheng as well. So remember Sheng, it was a downtrending stock. So at that time, same thing. Once it comes to the resistance, so you can see this is a resistance. This is the place where you look for trading signal to short. All right, so there may be a signal, depending on which signal you're using. There could be a stochastic crossover. Okay, but like I said, so long as the market did not short it. Yeah, so on this day, you have to short if the price go lower. Can you see the price didn't go lower on this day? So there's no short. So on this day, the price didn't go lower the next day. So there's no short. So can you see if I continue to draw, the price never come down on the subsequent day. So if the price didn't come down, the market is not selling. If the market is not selling, they are not confirming our shorting signal. So you do not take the short. All right. So this is how it helps us to prevent or to help us to limit our unnecessary losses by just taking a trade. Yeah. So we need the trend, we need the resistance, we need the signal, but also importantly, we need the market's confirmation. Okay. So very similar to StarHub, the price came to a resistance, tested it, and then it break it. All right. It totally break the resistance. So no point looking to short Sheng anymore, at least not for now. All right. Okay. So this just a quick recap, right? What we discussed last week. All right. So yeah. So SGX is the one to long, and these two shorting opportunity you're unable to because the market didn't allow it. As in, there's no market confirmation. All right. Okay. Now, so what I'll do now is I'll try and highlight some stocks that we can have some trading opportunity with, either to long or to short. Right, so usually we'll use our screener to help us. So for those who are familiar with the ESP master, so E stands for entry, S stands for stop loss, P stands for profit target. Okay, so ESP master, basically we build in our trading signals in there. So the screener basically help us to save time and shortlist those stocks that have those trading opportunities. Okay, so I'm going to click on screen. I'm going to look for stocks that we can buy. Yeah, any stocks with a long signal. Yeah, so I'll click screen. So now it's going through all the stocks in SGX. It's trying to look for only those stocks that fulfill our buying signal. So it could be a trend following signal. It could be a counter trend trading signal. Yeah, so either which, you screen out for us to make a decision, right? So how do we decide? That's why we can look at the risk right? Okay, so let's finish screening. All right, so you can see there are not many. Right, so as of today, right, 7th of April, there are only 3 stocks that has trading buying signal. So probably there are a lot of stocks that could be running high already, or there are some stocks that hasn't manifest the buying signal. Okay, I just want to look at SPH first, right? SPH. Okay, now if you look closely, this is SPH. Okay, I think what I'll do is let me just, too many colors, you may not be able to see. Okay, so what I'll show is this. Okay, if you look back, I think probably a few weeks ago, I did a video on catching stocks like this, which is a counter trend. It means the stock is falling, it's on the downtrend stock. Wait for a buying signal. All right, usually we want to short stocks like that because, as you can see over here, all the resistances, right? Here, yeah, you can see these stocks are basically resistance. Yeah, so it's a shorting stock. Okay, but if you say if you don't like to short, you just want to buy, then don't anyhow buy. You wait for a signal like this. This is what we call a counter trend trading signal. Okay, so this is what we call a counter trend buying signal. All right. So what is this signal? As you can see, the screener screens it out, so I do not have to go around looking for it. Okay, this is counter trend now. Okay, just leave this. All right. So what is this signal? So the first criteria, it traded outside of the Bollinger Band. All right, it traded outside of the Bollinger Band. This is dotted line is a Bollinger Band, and you see the MACD signal, many red, and then there's a green. So at least 4 red, followed by a green. And then there is a stochastic crossover. See the blue line cutting past the red line. Yeah, so you can see. Yeah, so this is where the ESP master screener screen it up and then very quickly point us to look at SPH because it has a buying signal. Okay, now, but of course we need something called the market's confirmation. Remember that's something I talked about a couple of minutes ago on why we didn't short Sheng-Siong or StarHub because there's no market confirmation. So likewise, we will only buy SPH if the price starts to go higher, okay? Higher than today's high. So today it trade up to 160. So you only buy SPH if tomorrow, right, the price is able to go 161. All right, 161. Right, so that's confirmation. Okay, now the thing about trading counter trend strategy, right? The thing about trading testing. All right, I guess I'll use this mic then. Testing. Can you hear me? Arrow testing. All right, I think should be fine. I hope it's fine. Okay, so what we need would be it to trade higher. Now, of course, these are resistance zones. So what we are very wary is when the price starts to move higher, all right, and then if you were to challenge the resistance zone, the trade higher, these are places where the market may be selling. Yeah, so that's where we want to take our profit as well if it is resisted. Okay, so assume you buy 161 and the price starts to trade into this resistance zone, you're looking at about a 10% gain. Okay, so not too bad. At least it's not just only 2-3% profit. Yeah, so at least you have a potential 10%. All right. Of course, cut loss you could set it anywhere beneath this candle, right? So this is at least more than 1:1. Yeah, so your cut loss is about 6%. Your profit is about 6.6. Your cut loss is about 6%. Your profit is about at least 10%. Okay, so this is SPH. All right. Give me a second as I make sure my sound is working well. Okay, I guess it is. All right, so SPH, there's a buying signal. and based on the counter trend. So counter trend means the stock is falling and try to buy. Okay, counter trend. So the risk of counter trend is the quick profit that you may have to take. Yeah, the moment it visits the resistance again. So from here that we measure from $1.61 up to test the resistance, you have at least 10% potential. Okay, so this is one stock that you could be looking at. All right. Now there is dairy farm thing I'll skip, but Comfortdelgro, I'll come to Comfortdelgro in a while because there's something that's very similar pattern that I can highlight too. All right. Okay. Now let me screen the shorting so to see any stocks that we could be looking to potentially short, right? Because ultimately we're still on a downtrend. Yeah. So to long stocks, there you have it. You have a SGX. Later I'll cover a few more that is based on chart formation. Yeah. So we discuss on that after we've done this shorting signal. Okay. Okay, so you can see for Singapore, it takes just a couple of minutes and you can see all the trading opportunities. Okay, so let me just highlight, for example, bank, OCBC. Okay, so if I may, let me just, okay, I'll just remove the volume so you can see that. Okay, so what happens is that the screener has screened out OCBC Bank. All right, so what they screen out is a shorting signal. As you can see over here is a red arrow. So there is a downtrend and we are at a resistance zone between the 20 and 50 MA and there's a signal to short. All right, now you notice there's this blue line, right? So that's our entry. Can you see the entry? $8.75. So that's our confirmation, which means if tomorrow the price will reach 8.75, that will be our signal to short. That will be our confirmation to short. So can you see the stop loss? The stop loss is set at about 3.5% near $9.06, 3.5%. So that's a relatively small loss risk, right? Look at the potential upside. So if it were to go down, right? So assume if tomorrow the price were to start, say, trading lower, right? So if the price were to trade lower, then there'll be a trade to short. And look at the potential downside over here. The first one is $8.33 for the first profit target because that's our first support level. So it's about a 4%, 4.8% profit. And if you have to go further down subsequently, right, we are looking at about 10%, 11% based on this bottom, right, that the COVID-19 sell down. So if we do happen to revisit this bottom, your profit is about 10%, 11% at least. Right, so this has a pretty decent risk to reward ratio. Your risk is only about 3.5%. Your profit is at least 4.8% to the upside 11 to 12%. Okay, but please bear in mind the importance of this blue line called E. Sorry, E, right? E means entry price. So you will only short it if the price will continue to sell down and trigger our entry price of 8.75. Cool. All right. Okay, the next one to look at for shorting is a Parkway Library, a very similar and identical trading pattern, right? Which is a downtrending stock. Again, let me just remove the volume so you can see better. So there's a shorting signal. Same thing. Please wait for this blue line, which is called the market's confirmation. So $3.05. That will be entry to short. Cut loss. Right, the cut loss is 335. So which is about under 10%. All right. Now, the thing about this is that the downside, right, the immediate profit, right, is about only 5% at most. Yeah. The next one is, of course, will be around 16%. So at face value, yeah, it seems that the is not a very good risk to reward. But if you are bearish on this, then if it happens to visit the COVID low, right? So this is where you could be looking at a 16%, which will make it more appealing. Okay, so this is a risk that you may have to take, right? If you were to short Parkway Library. Okay, so but regardless, the entry price of 305, right? The entry price of 305 must be triggered before you do pull the trigger to short. Okay, Okay, take a look at, say, Thai beverage. All right, so Thai beverage, there is a signal as well, same shorting signal. Okay, now the thing is the confirmation. So if you want to short, make sure it goes to $62.5. Cut loss is 70 cents, so which is about 12%. That's relatively high. Okay, but I guess it could be worth it because of the potential downside. If it to come, if it goes back to COVID low, that's about 21, 22%. All right, but you may have to contend with the immediate potential profit of about 8% first. Okay, so for those who feel that that's not very good risk, right, 12%, so probably you may want to short with a smaller size first. Yeah, short on the smaller size. Okay, because the potential down is about 20%. Okay, all right, so these are the stocks that you could look at to do shorting. Sembcorp industry as well. Just that Sembcorp, I'm quite reluctant to share first because we are very near to this support of around $1.47, $1.48. Yeah, so as you can see, the profit levels that is highlighted, they are all less than 1%, 2% of profit. So if you're a short here, you're basically testing this resistance support. Sorry, you're testing a support. So the shorting may not be able to go down too much. Yeah, the price may not be able to retreat too much. And the risk is 10%, so it's not very good upside. Yeah, so I would stay away from shorting this unless, okay, it breaks. All right, unless the support break. So what I mean by that is, as you can see, Sembcorp industry now is trading on a range. Yeah, so if you're to short here based on the signal that we have now, you're just basically looking for it to test this support range again, about $1.47. Yeah, so if you want to short this stock, I think this will be the opposite of SGX. Yeah, so you want to short this, make sure it's able to break first. Yeah, break this range, right? Break this range. Yeah, before looking at any shorting levels. Okay, so this is how we identify trading opportunities day in, day out, yeah, using the ESP master. Right, you can use it to look for long, you can use it to look for short. All right, so for long, we identify SPH, the counter trend trading opportunity. For short, yeah, we have identified a couple as well, like CBC, Hardware Library, yeah, and Thai Beverage. All right, Sembcorp, not a good candidate as of now, yeah, because it's trading in the range. All right. Okay. Now, all these are trading signals based on indicators and candlestick. Let me now highlight something that is not based on that, but more purely on price action. It means it's not indicator based, it's purely on price action. So that's what we call a chart formation. So what I'll do now is let me clear the indicators first, all right? So at least to look at it in perspective of price action. Let me highlight this stock first, Venture, right? Because today it just happened. Yeah, had we done this earlier, probably you could have caught it, but it's all right. We have other stocks that are presenting it itself. Okay, now, okay, so it's something like this. Okay, so this is Venture. As you can see, it's on a downtrend, as with many stocks recently. Okay, so it tried to bounce up, and then it came down, and you see that it's very near to the recent low, and it started to bounce up again. Okay, so yes, this is what we call a double bottom. All right, so this is what we call a double bottom. Double bottom basically means that the price has a potential, this is a potential trend reversal, right? Potential trend reversal from down to up. It's like a W, right? See, it's like a W. Okay, so usually when we see a W like that, trend reversal, what you need to do is to wait for a breakout. All right, so you need to wait for a breakout from this high. So as you can see, it came down, went up, couldn't go past, and it came down again. Now it's trying again. Yeah, so for this stock Venture, this point, right? This point is about $14.50. So which means for this double bottom to be successful in trend reversal, it has to break out. Yeah, so for you to take the trade. So which it did today. All right, so today, as you can see, when the market opened, it starts to break out $14.50 and it starts to trade all the way up to $15.10. Yeah, so this is a trend reversal chart formation. Okay, so this is venture. Now let me this is, of course, is you don't chase it now, it's already gone up. Let me highlight to you one stock that has not happened, but it's very similar in the pattern, right? It's called Capitaland. Okay, look at Capitaland, very similar. Of course, it needs to have a downtrend first, which is not hard to find nowadays, downtrend. Okay, but what is different is it starts to bounce from this support to hit this high, right? To hit this high, and then it starts to trade lower, but it didn't go lower, it starts to bounce up again. All right, so this is where you see the double bottom, like venture. So unlike venture, Capitaland has not broken out yet. So what you need to pay attention very closely is this point. Yeah, you will only be taking this trade if it breaks out of $3.02. All right, so which we are nearby. So tomorrow the market continue to be bullish for Capitaland. Wait for it to break out, and then let's see how far this trend reversal takes us. All right, cool. So that is for Capitaland. Comfortdelgro. Okay, Comfortdelgro, similar pattern. Comfortdelgro has been, there's a lot of bearish news, right, based on the economic conditions, right? But it is showing a double bottom as well. Yeah, so despite all the bearishness in the market, it's showing a double bottom. Look out for this break in this high. All right, so the break is about $1.58. So if you can break past 158, then this double bottom breakout will be successful. Okay, now I need to caution you not to jump the gun, right? Because for a double bottom, sometimes it could just morph or change into other formation. So instead of a double bottom, right, the price could come down, all right, and then it starts to test again, and then it starts to come down, right? So it could become what we call a triangle pattern, right? So which means it becomes a downwards pattern. Okay, so that's why it's very important to break this high first. Yeah, if not, the price could just petals and then start to trade lower, and then you get into a descending triangle formation. And as you know, descending triangle formation means it's going to break down, and the downtrend is more likely to continue. Okay, so that is the difference. All right, so same thing for Capitaland. We are now near to it, but if you happen to see the price not able to break past and then it starts to trade lower, right? That could happen. Right, it starts to trade lower, and this is where it could become a triangle pattern as well. Oops. Yeah, if it goes lower, and then if it couldn't continue, it rallies again. Yeah. So yeah, that could happen. Then it becomes a triangle pattern, which is not bullish at all. Okay, so the key is to wait for that breakout. Okay, now if you look at SIA, you see some form of a double bottom as well. Very bearish, but of course we know there's some bailout happening. So could this bailout have attracted more bullishness? So the key is a breakout here. If it doesn't break, no point. The downtrend may continue. Okay, since SIA has this formation, you will think SIA Engineering, could it has it as well? And the answer is yes, right? It has a double bottom as well. Okay, but again, the key is a breakout from this last test of a high of a resistance. Cool. All right, so these are the things that we could look forward to in these upcoming days and weeks. All right, so yeah, so watch out for your position, trade safely. The market is bullish generally now, but they are since it's bullish means it's been going up. And if it's going up means it's near to resistance more than near to support. All right, so be wary of that. Yeah, so continue to look out for these trading opportunities. I'll post them into the Facebook. I'll do some videos as and when I could catch it in time, right? And just click like, follow us, and then share this video with your friends so that we can continue to do this right together with everybody and stay with everybody, especially during this COVID period, this circuit breaker period of 1 month. For Malaysian, there's this MCO, right? So I think the best thing is to stay together and watch the market and trade cautiously. All right, with that, I'm Gerald Yo, ChartNexus, signing off. Have a good evening and trade safely. Thank you.